Satnam.
Satnam. We're going to
Good.
be, we're going to dive straight into it for today. Okay.
Sure.
So topic is about the importance of spirituality in these times, in the modern life. Okay. So what are your thoughts on this? Why is it important?
Spirituality in modern times.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. I think it's always important during all times, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever phase humanity is going through, right? But why now? More importantly, because of this upheaval we are going through in the world. This huge kind of deluge the planet is going through. It's like negative energy has been dumped on us and humanity has to deal with it. So I think right now, more than ever before, it's vital. Spirituality and all spiritual tools and technologies are very, very important. It should be applied to every single human being.
From well, in terms of from a Sikhi point of view, yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
The Sikhi doesn't hold the view that one has to renounce life or the material world, being in society, right? It's not telling us to be renunciates, correct?
No.
It's not saying that we can't have stuff, we can't have beautiful things, nice house, nice clothes, nice car, right? So I'd like you to expand a little bit more on what does
in Sikhi, right? I'll explain something. Even as a monk, as a Buddhist, even as a yogi going to the caves, right?
Yeah.
The purpose and the intention of all these things is to renounce, right? Why? Because back in the day, people, yogis, especially those who were seeking enlightenment, they thought that the world and objects lead to misery, desires lead to misery.
Right. Yeah.
They lead to bondage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're chasing things. You're chasing things that are temporary and they lead you to misery in the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or the realization that none of it actually fills the void, fills the internal void or emptiness, right?
Yeah.
Which then leads to the misery, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all inherently, we're born with that void, with that emptiness until we find God.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So we're chasing these things which are temporary. They call it in spirituality, they call these things illusions because they're not permanent and they don't give you the satisfaction people are really seeking for. They're temporary satisfactions, right?
Yeah.
You run after something, right? It doesn't fill you up after a little while, right? You want to chase something else, right? It's the nature of the mind, right? It's stuck in this quagmire of the Maya matrix, right? It's illusion after an illusion, right?
Yeah.
Sikhi is living enlightenment.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole idea of the Sikh way of life is that you practically live enlightenment. You are living the qualities of God. You apply the qualities of God and you live and you practically live them. You implement them in your lives. That's what being a Sikh means. You meditate to achieve enlightenment, right?
Yeah.
You serve humanity,
Yeah.
right? As your largest self, irrespective of anyone, religion, caste, creed, anything. Your job is to serve and uplift humanity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God don't judge nobody. The Sikh don't judge nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We chant Gurbani because Gurbani is the sound of God. So we meditate and chant of the sound of God. It's the mantra, it's the God mantras. Right? We sing the Gurbani to uplift our spirits, to merge our spirits into the God. Right? Right? It's very uplifting. So the lifestyle of the Sikh really is to embody enlightenment and live it.
In this lifetime.
In this one lifetime.
And therein lies happiness.
Yeah.
Right? Therein lies the liberation from this matrix.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to die to get there. You can actually live it.
You live it now.
You live it now. Yeah.
You're living it now.
That is the reason behind my curiosity, behind my interest, and why I seek the lifestyle.
Sure. Oh wow.
Of Sikhi. And that's why we're doing this. Right?
That's pretty amazing.
Well, it is amazing. It is, the tenets of the Sikh faith is just really, for me, it's like if you get to live even half of that, you're already in heaven. That's already 100%. Heaven on earth. Right?
100%. Yeah. Now, right. So we were talking about why do the Sikhs not renounce nothing, right?
Yeah.
Why don't the Sikhs renounce nothing? It's the thoughts that we renounce.
Yeah.
It's the detachment. It's the attachment we renounce.
Right.
While living in the world, doing worldly things on a mental level, the Sikh is renounced. He is a sannyasi living in the world. He's a yogi living in the world. He doesn't need to go to the cave. He or she doesn't need to go to the cave and renounce everything externally. Renounce it internally. Be detached while living in the world. So you're doing worldly things, or you're getting the stuff done, you're getting sevas done. The world is being made into a lovely, beautiful place. At the same time, you are not attached to the world and the worldly outcomes. You are liberated in your mind through detachment.
Which is why it's so applicable to modern life. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, of course, the renunciates, the yogis, the monks, that worked for them at that time, probably still does, right? And they are doing it, and they have a role to fulfill, they have a role to play, and that's to meditate 24/7 and hold that vibration, hold that vibration of uplifting humanity by doing what they do, right? So that's the role. But that's not really for everyone. And in this modern age, right, when we have lives to live, we have families, we have jobs, we have businesses to run, and I find it's more relevant. It's a more relevant application to life, So
you nailed it. Yeah. It's the path for the the current humanity. It's the path for the new world, I guess. You know,
there is a phrase, right? Grisht ashram, enlightened household.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what we need to be aiming for.
Yeah.
For every family unit to get to that point of being enlightened.
Yeah, that was the Guru's vision. Yeah, that was the vision of the Guru to, you can have, you can live in family units and
be enlightened.
Be enlightened. Yeah, there are many cases. There are many stories of these situations where there are householders who are enlightened, man and woman, husband and wife. Both couples are enlightened.
There's a banging noise in the background.
Sorry, yeah, that's my dog getting.
Sing more Japji, chant more Japji.
Yeah. He was quiet during the Japji. Yeah.
No, but well, that's really not uncommon anymore.
Right.
I know many, families, young families who are embodying that level of awakened state.
I believe that.
Right?
Definitely now more and more.
You don't have to be like coming from a lineage of yogis or enlightened masters to achieve that.
No. No. Yeah. It's a system available for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why Guru Nanak designed this kind of a lifestyle, if you like, which enables the human body, the human mind, the human being to liberate itself, from these worldly limitations. And you can live in the world, you can be married and get enlightened. You can have children and get enlightened. You can live in the world in Maya and be free from it. This concept was not always available for the larger humanity. That was the problem. This concept wasn't always available for the en masse humanity, right?
It never was it? Not really.
Yeah, you had to be chosen. You had to be selected. It was common to renounce your spouses.
It was the only way to get there, really, right? It was like it's almost necessary to. It's a necessity physiologically to abstain from, worldly desires, physical desires to get to enlightenment. Right. I mean, that was really, that was the frequency, of the energy of the planet back then. It's rather dense, right? So you have to really go through a lot of sacrifices. So this Guru Nanak version is an updated version, right? It's like, okay, you don't have to go through all that now. You can actually be a mom, a dad, enjoy the joys of being a parent or being a spouse, and get enlightened. Not just you, but your whole family, your children, right? Your partner. And that's that's more effective. Don't you find?
It's way more effective, You see, if everyone went to the mountains and got enlightened, what will happen to all the people in the world? Right? None of them would have access to enlightened masters. None of them would have access to spirituality if everyone went to the mountains and went to the caves right? The problem would be that humanity will keep on birth, rebirth, right? And keep coming and going. And the negativity of the world doesn't stop. You know, it will just keep going and going and going. It was quite a mess when Gurbani came.
It was
in a mess.
Yeah.
You know,
that was only
it was
500 years ago, wasn't it?
Very recent, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not that long ago in historical terms, right? In time lineage, just not that long.
That was yesterday.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So you can imagine that
the university that I attended it was built older than that.
Oh, really? It's older than Sikhs.
Huh? It's older than Sikhi.
It's older than Sikhs.
Sikhs, yeah.
Right. Look at that.
It was founded in 14 something. This is in the Philippines, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's rather old.
Wow. Really?
Older than Sikhi.
Because what I feel is, I mean, that's interesting. What I feel is that religions were designed by test and trial. You know what I mean? As the masters go on, you know, when they come to the world, they see the state of the world and where people are, and hence a religion is designed in a way to
enhance,
to enhance the humanity, right?
And the evolution, propel humanity's evolution.
Yeah. Right. And they're all wonderful religions because the purpose of them is to free the human being, isn't it? To give moksha to everybody.
Absolutely.
Right. To free everyone. Now, humanity changes, doesn't it? Humanity goes on evolving.
Yeah.
We don't stop evolving. The planet doesn't stop evolving. It's a known fact, we are moving into higher dimensions.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The resonance of the planet is altering. We, the human beings are ascending from 3-dimensional beings to 4-dimensional beings.
Hopefully higher. Right? Yeah.
Hopefully higher. We're going up in frequency. We're gonna need technologies that carry us through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not, there was a time when we were cavemen, right? I guess if there was a religion back then, it catered for the times back then, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now we have entered a new time zone.
The Abrahamic religion, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're in a very new setup on the planet. Things are changing right in front of us as we speak. We are entering, a shift from the Pisces to the Aquarian. We are in the Aquarian age now.
Yeah.
Right. So we need certain tools, certain technologies to carry us through and liberate us through these times, and that's what you and I were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this is why this is to me as a non-Sikh, right? This is why I find it fascinating, because the tools that are available for us through the practice of Sikhism is really very relevant, very applicable, very purposeful, right?
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
I grew up as a Catholic, right? Maybe not the most idyllic good Catholic girl, but I was raised as one. Attended mass, confessed my sins, and sang hymns and all that, right? I have never actually been introduced to meditation or chanting or even the concept of seva until I discovered Kundalini Yoga, which then led the path for me to discover Sikhism. right? So it came later on in my life, and it really blew me away, you know, that this is actually available. And not only available, because part of my practice as a Kundalini yoga practitioner and teacher was, it was already built in there, you know, what you guys are practicing, right? The concept of like, you know, meditating, the concept of chanting, the concept of selfless service, right? So before I even knew about Sikhi, I was already like, you know, dipping my toes, so to speak, right? And I found that, I found it very powerful. I found that it really shifted me. It transformed me as a human being.
Oh wow, sure.
Right?
So that's amazing. Yeah.
That is the reason why I'm really, you know, diving deeply into this faith, into this way of life, because I think, you know, people should really, you know, be made aware of this.
Oh, absolutely! Wow,
The technology.
That's pretty inspirational. Yeah.
You know,
that's very inspirational. Yeah. You're kind of looking at it from an outside perspective. Is that a right way to put it? Would that be a right way to put it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, wide-eyed.
Wow.
It's like, wow, you know, this should not be exclusive to the Sikhs. You know, it's like
interesting. Oh my God.
This has to be more spread, widely spread, you know?
Interesting you say that. I agree with you 100%. 100%. I don't think personally that it ever was exclusive to the Sikhs.
No, I know that. I know that. I know
you know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's interesting you raise that.
That's the perception.
Sure.
That is the perception. Like, you know, growing up, if I saw someone with a turban, I'd be like, okay, he's wearing a turban. He's into some kind of like faith that I know nothing about, and I may find intimidating because, you know, they look different from me, and you know, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And it's not really accessible. Well, growing up. For me, I'm sure it has changed.
Did you ever see people with turbans as you were growing up? Did you ever see them?
In Manila, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The Sikhs in Manila?
Yeah. It's quite a huge population in Southeast Asia. I think Manila has one of the largest population of Sikhs.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's interesting. Wow.
So this is the purpose of this, for us to, you know, dive deeper into this faith that Guru Nanak founded.
Yes.
And because it's like a treasure trove. It's a treasure trove of
hands down,
you know, application for modern life, and especially in these days, in these times, you know.
Yes. That's a very good way of putting it. That's a very good way of putting it, Madonna, because it's like when we look at things religiously, I think people get scared, right? It's very, like you said, it's very inaccessible. It's very inaccessible.
Yeah. But this is the thing about Sikhism, you know, it's not, I don't think Guru Nanak would want it to be categorized as a religion. You know what I mean? Right? It's more like, it's more a way of life.
Yes.
A way of life, right?
Yes, 100%. That's correct.
Yeah.
Because it's your actions that are going to liberate you. Labeling yourself as anything isn't going to do anything, right? And it's your actions that are going to liberate you. I remember when Guru Nanak Dev Ji went into the lake, into the river, and he came back out of the river, and one of the first things he said was that yeah, right. And one of the first things he said was that there is no Muslim and there is no Hindu up there.
I love that.
In the land of God, God
I
doesn't
love
look
that.
at nobody's name, color, or
Yeah.
status.
Yeah.
Up there, your actions are counted. They don't, nobody cares where you were born, right? Or the color of your skin, right? Or how rich or poor you are. It's inevitably your gunas that are going to be counted, your samskaras, right? Your remembrance of God.
To those who are not familiar with these terms, can you just elaborate, expound on what they mean? What does samskara mean?
Samskaras are past psychic impressions, karmic impressions, that are carried with us through life after life.
Right.
You and I are here as a result of a past life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What we do now will result in our next life.
Right.
Right? We go on building or we go on destroying. We either go higher or we go lower. We either get closer to divinity and moksha or we get further away from it. Right? Totally depending on you know, how we go about living our life and how woke and how aware we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Again, right? It's like you don't even have to believe in the you know, if you're a Christian who believes that this is it, you know, there's no life after this, or you know, or an atheist, it's like it doesn't matter whether you believe in it. You're not required to believe in it, because what matters is, you know, this life. This life. If this is the only life that you know, you think you're gonna have, then make the most of it, right?
100%,
And
we should live this. We should live this to the fullest. That's
absolutely
true.
Absolutely. And these are the ways to get you closer to that space.
Everything about Sikhi is designed, if you like, right? It is like the how would you call it? If you crunched up everything enlightenment on the planet that has happened thousands and thousands of years ago, if you brought all the knowledge together, all the wisdom, all the lifestyle, good actions, everything that brings us closer to God. Sikhi is that.
The summary.
It's the sum total.
Summation.
Right? All living in one life. And negating your past life samskaras. Living enlightenment by detaching yourself mentally. And chanting your way out of the cycle of life and death.
I laugh
Get
because
the hell out of this, right?
I laugh because when you said when you mentioned that, you know, you can actually liberate yourself from the mind and all that, because that's the hardest thing for most of humanity right now, right? Because you know, a non-Sikh would ask you, how the hell do you do that then, you know? Okay, we have the answer to that. We have the technology to that, right? What is it? You chant, right?
You chant,
You chant. I mean, that's just one. That's just one, but it's a very powerful way. Powerful method.
We will dive into this more and more, so we can decode it more, Madonna. So we'll break it down more and make it more accessible to people.
Absolutely.
Because people don't know what chanting does or what chanting is, what it does. Japa, what is japa? Japa is chanting, right?
It's such an advanced technology. It's like, it's like,
right.
It's a gift. It's a gift from God.
100%. And people don't know how to chant. They don't know how to go about it or what is involved, because we are chanting all the time. We talk to each other. People are talking, right? Words impact you. Someone can say something to you, Madonna, and will make you feel uplifted and happy. Someone can say something to you and it'll make you sad and hurt.
Hence spell, the term spell. You put you under the spell of the words, right? Because, you know, it has a charge to it.
Okay. So if words have an effect, these are human words. These are words we have designed our languages, right? If they can impact you and make you feel in a particular way, penetrate your aura, destroy your aura, or even make your aura, right? They can make you feel good or make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Right? They can give you a good day or a bad day. They can make you successful or unsuccessful, right?
Yeah.
If words human beings use and say and reverberate can make us feel that way, what do you think these mantras that are divinely coordinated, right, by beings of enlightenment, what effect will they have on us? Because these words do not come from our minds, our brains, our bodies. They come from the divine source itself.
These are codes. These are codes, God codes.
Right? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, look at that. Look at that.
But that's what they are. Absolutely 1000%. That's what they are.
Wow, that's well said.
So yeah.
You chanting these God codes, right? And you go on chanting it, right? It will put you in that space. Doesn't take long.
No.
It puts you into that zone.
Yeah, it's almost
right?
It's instant, actually.
Madonna, if 5 minutes of chanting puts you in a peaceful, loving space,
yeah,
what do you think will happen if you chant for 1 hour? Right? You and I have experiences. We have experiences ourselves. We are evidentially proof that this stuff works.
It does. It does.
Right?
It does.
What do you think happens to those who chant for 2 hours? They are so full of bliss that they walk into the world and they carry their bliss with them and they take it and they spread it out. Nothing around the world will affect them. No vibrations, lower vibrations of the planet will affect them. Nothing nobody will say will hurt their feelings because they are so full of 2 hours of chanting of bliss. The auras are strong, right? They're having wonderful euphoric experiences. Instead of being impacted by the world, they are impacting the world.
The world, yeah.
Just think about that.
Yeah. It's a mastery of this realm, actually. Using this technology, using this highly advanced technology, you can practically become superhuman.
Imagine those beings that brought this technology to the world.
Yeah, they're Pleiadians.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
What dimensions were they from, right?
Totally.
They give us this and look what happens to us. It turns human to superhuman.
Yeah. And this is the time. This is the time now, as we enter into this new age of Aquarius. This is the time. And this is it. This is the, we're given this 500 years ago because we will be needing it now to usher us into this new age of enlightenment, equipped with the tools, right? So we're not just, how do I get there? How do I, it's like, okay, here. It's all done in a, nicely tied package. Right? All you need to do is like unravel and open up the box and apply it. Apply, receive the gifts.
It's all available. It's God's creation.
Available.
Everything is available.
It's available. And I feel super blessed as a non-Sikh, not non-born into the, into the lineage, into the culture. I feel super blessed to have been given access to it at this point in my life. I really do. And it's like it's my driving it's a driving factor now in my life to make sure that a lot more people become more aware of this and have access to this. So very, very grateful.
That's a
privilege,
service to humanity. Thank you.
I mean, I think I think it's part of the gifts that gets activated within you when you start practicing it. You become that much open-hearted and compassionate towards your fellow humans, that all you want to do is really to be of service. Because why not, right? Because why not? What is the purpose of life otherwise?
Yeah. Well, for you to have reached that understanding, that shows, you've come so next level. You've come so far. If you ask somebody else what's the purpose of their life, they wouldn't think about serving somebody, right? Serving isn't everybody's cup of tea. It's not in everyone's genes.
True.
You get it, right? Majority of people would not even think.
They
wouldn't even think this is. Yeah.
I wasn't that way. Like, I don't know, maybe even as recently as probably 5-6 years ago, even though I was already practicing the yoga, I think what I'm trying to say is it's never too late,
No. Yeah.
It's never too late. You don't have to be born into it. You don't have to have been coming from an enlightened lineage. You don't have to be a Sikh, it's and one of the other things about it is it does not require you to be one to practice the technology. I mean,
like, you don't have to call yourself a Sikh, right?
You don't. I mean, but you can.
You can just be,
right.
Yeah.
If you feel like calling yourself a Sikh, the Sikhs won't have a problem with it, right?
Yeah.
If I told you, Param, I'm a Sikh, like, you're not gonna chop my head off, right? Like, you'll be like you'll be very pleased.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
It's a very inclusive faith. Yeah. Well, I'm really just into it. As you can tell, it gets me all excited. It gets me excited. So, because it answers it does answer a lot of current human dilemmas.
100%, yeah.
It
addresses.
It addresses. That's the term.
Where we are with ourselves. Human beings have, we've reached a dead end. How do we get out? How do we liberate ourselves from this? We have been given these tools by Guru Nanak to liberate ourselves. The advanced techniques of meditation, the advanced techniques of chanting, right? The Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji has been revealed to the world, right? The japas in there liberate you. They free man and woman. They free the human being from its mind. The very source of our dilemmas and troubles is the mind. And the shabad, the mantras of the Sri Guru Granth go straight into the mind and penetrate the subconscious and consciousness. They hit you where, right, at the seed of where all these problems arise.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's, and this was hidden from the world. This was hidden from the world because when spirituality got corrupted by the dark forces, they did not want people to know this.
Yeah, of course not. Because it's so it'll be game over for humanity. It'll be game over for them.
Yeah. Right? They want to enslave humanity, but the gurus and the messiahs who come to the earth, they want to free humanity.
Totally.
Okay?
Yeah. So I look forward to the succeeding more deep dives into it, the technology. yeah, we're gonna get on to the meditations, the techniques, the chantings, the breath work, and all that on the next ones. Yeah. Do you have any more to add on to all of this?
I think what you said earlier nailed it completely, that we to make certain aspects, to make it accessible,
make it accessible. Yeah, yeah.
Because people don't know.
No.
People don't know.
Yeah, and people have to know ASAP. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
thank you.
Satnam, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Satnam.
Satnam.